how to build successful habit. As everyone knows that habits are powerful. You have heard many times that successful people have a great habits. Even you have tried many times to build good habits such as waking up early in the morning, exercising, meditating, reading, going to the gym, trying to speak English every day, less time spent on social media and more. You have tried your best to build good habits and you did so well for 3 days, maybe for 1 week and more than that. You have tried your best but you failed to take action towards whatever habits you want to install. Many of you have a great intention to build good habits but you fail to take action towards whatever habits you want to install, and that's called the intention action gap. Global studies found that 36% to 55% of the people never manage to convert that intention into action. So let's dive into this topic called habit. A habit is a repetition of your everyday behavior that is repeated consistently and tends to occur subconsciously. Based on the latest research, a habit is a repetition of your everyday behavior that is automated and subconscious responses to the specific triggers. Let me explain this definition through the example. Throughout your whole day, how many activities do you do that are based on your habits only? All of those activities are just a repetition of your everyday behavior that you do each and every single day. And you don't even have to think when you are performing those activities. It's just automated. So here I will give you few common examples of the habit, such as wake up early in the morning, brush your teeth, going to the gym, exercising, take a bath, morning prayers, take a breakfast, spending time on social media, roam in the evening, and more. So these are the few common habits that each and every person has. But I want to talk about the habits that shape you. Why habits are so important and why do all the great leaders, masters, athletes, world-class performer, business magnate, entrepreneurs are great at what they do? And here is the answer, that they have the great habits. For example, how many people have a problem with waking up early in the morning? A lot of people try to build habit to wake up early in the morning, but they fail to install this habit. And here's the reason why they fail. Whenever you set the alarm, for instance, you set it for the 5 a.m. I will tell you what happens at 5 a.m. Whenever your alarm rings up, you just turn off the alarm and think, I will wake up after 5 to 10 minutes or else after 1 hour. And this kind of behavior you do each and every single day, whether you wake up at 5 a.m. or 8 a.m. Right? So this is the subconscious automated behavior that you have created for yourself. And you just miss your first day of building the good habit that you have envisioned for yourself. Nonetheless, you have tried it for 1 to 2 days and then after you just stopped. You are not alone. This happens with everyone. Whenever you are trying to build new habits, then push your mind to build the new neural pathways for your habit. When I was practicing to wake up at 5 a.m., the same things happens to me. Whenever my alarm rings up at 5 a.m. and I had the list of excuses to not wake up, such as, today I don't want to wake up. I did hard work yesterday, so today I don't want to wake up. No one wakes up, so why do I? Let me sleep a little bit more. Today, I don't have important tasks to do. Don't give too much time to your mind to think when you wake up. If you spend too much time in your bed, then your mind started working and give you the list of excuses to not wake up. Whenever you try to build new habit, then allows your mind to build a new neural pathways for the new habit. Instead of that, what you can do is spend less time in a bed and when your alarm rings up, just start counting backwards like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and go. A lot of people do mistake here. Like if you are waking up at 9 a.m. and if you set the goal for the 5 a.m. then it is not going to happen, right? If you have an important task to do or if you are going somewhere, then you just set the alarm and wake up. But if you are building the one habit that is for the long run, then take a tiny steps first. Set this tiny goal, right? So set the alarm for the 8:30, then 8, then 7:37. Likewise, you will have to go, right? You can't be just motivated and inspired every time. When you are working on your goals, there comes a time when you are just stuck in the middle and pushing yourself harder, right? That is another way to cope with the list of excuses. What you can do is rewrite your excuses in your journal. There are the common excuses that comes to your mind each and every single day. So what you can do is just rewrite your excuses in your journal. And how you can write it? As you can see this in this diagram, the first one is, today I feel sleepy. So rewrite it, I already have a good night's sleep for 6 hours. I did hard work yesterday, so today I don't want to wake up. So rewrite it, you do hard work each and every single day. This is not new to you. No one wakes up, so why do I? I have a purpose and vision for my life. If nobody wakes up, then it's their choice, not mine. Let me sleep a little bit more. You already have a good night's sleep. This is how you will have to rewrite your excuses in your journal. What are the benefits of the rewriting your excuses is that whenever you wake up early in the morning and that thoughts comes to your mind that today I don't want to wake up, then that thoughts will be replaced by the new thoughts, right? And you will have to take action instantly, right? This is just one example of a habit, but I want to talk about the micro behaviors that you repeatedly do and you are just unaware of it. Have you observed the micro behaviors in this example that I have given? I will tell you what are the micro behaviors in that example. You just turn off the alarm and then after you wake up after 5 to 10 minutes or else after 1 hour, and you have the list of excuses to not wake up early in the morning. So this is a very subconscious automated behavior that you repeatedly do each and every single day. Each time you decided to wake up early in the morning, there are the list of excuses to not wake up and you just procrastinate. This happens because you have created that kind of habit pattern and you take this kind of tiny decision each and every moment of your life, and that are so much important in the long run. There is a correlation between the micro behaviors and tiny decision. So as you can see this in this image, that correlation between the micro behaviors and tiny decision. So we already had created a habit pattern, or you can say that behavior pattern, but if we want to build a new habit, then we need to identify our micro behaviors, because we take our tiny decision based on those micro behaviors. Here's a question comes to our mind that how we can identify our micro behaviors, and the answer is very simple, that build a better awareness. Build a better awareness about whatever activity you do. Okay, so as you can see in this image, that build a great awareness that helps you to take a better tiny decision, and it ultimately yields better result. Let's understand the science behind the different brain mechanism. As you can see in this diagram, that it is a human brain, and it has a different part like prefrontal cortex, temporal lobe, brainstem, parietal lobe, basal ganglia, occipital lobe, cerebellum, and each performs its own function. But I want to talk about the prefrontal cortex and the basal ganglia. This is based on the latest research. So let's understand this. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for the new or infrequent behaviors. It is a goal directed, and hence it performs in a different ways in a different context. As you can see in this example, that to give exam and take a medicine when you sick. So this is a very goal directed, right? Whereas in the basal ganglia, it is responsible for the frequent behaviors, and in this context, activity performs in the same way. For example, social media use and notification check. And in this prefrontal cortex is guided by the goals and the attitude, morals, values. Whereas in the basal ganglia, guided by the cues and the triggers. In the prefrontal cortex, action performed with more awareness and the consciousness. Whereas in the basal ganglia, action performed with little or no awareness, because it is more automated. So basal ganglia is really great, right? Because our automatic behaviors are stored in the basal ganglia. If you want to be a great at anything, then how much it is important to build a great habit, isn't it? At my home, each and every activity of a person is based on their habits only, and I have learned to install the habits from my family members only. I have been practicing many good habits to install in me, and there are a lot of variations in it. But I want to talk about one habit that I have never missed performing it. That is sweeping my home early in the morning. And when I was affected by the coronavirus, then it is really hard for me to do even a regular task. So this habit is something amazing about this habit, that I have never missed performing it, because I have been doing this activity for last 1 year. So even in that time, I had swept my quarantine room. So I'm not the only one who was affected by the coronavirus, but my whole family was affected by the coronavirus, and each and every person had performed their daily activity, and that's how I realized the power of habit. Once the habit is formed, it becomes automated, it becomes your second nature, and it becomes the part of who you are as a person. At the initial stage, I didn't like sweeping at all. And that's how whenever I sweep, I just started listening to music. But I was fascinated by my elder father. He loves house cleaning, and he believes that home is a temple. And he also believes that it's not just women's work. So he does this activity each and every single day without fail, no matter how many important tasks he has to do. But he does this activity. There is one great saying in my home, that is, no matter whatever common activity you do, but there is always a great way to do it. So I have decided to change my habit pattern for the sweeping. And what I had done is I started my sweeping activity with more awareness and the consciousness. And this single habit of sweeping has taught me many things, such as how to focus on your particular activity that you are doing, how to hold broom perfectly, and how to sweep, right? And how to engage more deeply with whatever activity you are doing, and how to commit it to the in the long run. So these are the few common things that I have learned from my sweeping habit. At first, it takes me 1 hour to complete this activity, and now it takes only just 20 minutes to complete this activity. Once you build the habit, once you form the habit, then it is really automated, and you don't have to push yourself harder to do those activities. Like, it becomes automated, it comes from you naturally. Whenever you try to build new habits, then don't focus on the performance, but the focus on the progress, and don't discontinue, because excellence comes from the repetition, because repetition is a mother's skill. And that's how I love the quote from the Bruce Lee: I don't fear the man who has practiced 10,000 key, but I fear the man who has practiced one key 10,000 times. I have explained this example thoroughly because I want to make you understand the habit concept. So let's understand the blueprint of habit arc, and this is based on the latest research. The first one is a cue and trigger. Second is a routine. Third is a reward, and fourth is a repetition. Okay, so if you have an old habit, or if you want to build a new habit, then there is a science behind the habit formation. As you can see in this diagram, that the habit arc blueprint, the first one is a cue and the trigger. The trigger that initiate your behavior. Routine, the routine you follow. The reward you get from doing that behavior. Repetition, the repetition of new behavior. In this sweeping habit context, the trigger point is 8 o'clock that initiate my behavior. I started doing my sweeping habit at 8 o'clock early in the morning every day without fail. If you want to build a new habit, then do it continuously for the 66 days. The first 22 days is for the destruction. The second 22 days is for the installation. And the third 22 days for the integration that automatically integrates into your behavior. Modern research has already proven that you require minimum 66 days if you want to build new habit, and do it at the same time, then it automatically integrate into your behavior. It also depends on the what kind of habit you want to install, and it varies based on that. And the routine is the routine you follow each and every single day. So in this context, I started my sweeping activity, and my elder father is our mentor, so he pushes us harder to do our tasks each and every single day and on the same time. So now it becomes automated. I don't need to push myself harder, or somebody else push me, and then after I will do my task. It becomes automated, right? The reward is my house is clean. I don't need to worry about my sweeping activity throughout my day. And the last one is repetition. If you really want to build a great habit, then you will have to do it anyway, no matter what. Do it again and again and again until and unless it becomes your second nature, it becomes automated, and it becomes a part of who you are as a person. Lastly, it's not always about the result, but it's about the progress that you make throughout your journey. And it's also about the person you become throughout your journey. Support system you require for building a new habit. The first one is right environment. The environment helps you to continue your habit. For example, if I want to work from home, then obviously I need one room, or maybe I just make my environment like I set the table and hang some pictures on the wall. Then after all the whole plannings, what I'm going to do. So as I have explained in the habit arc, that your mind triggers whenever you see this. So it initiates your behavior. Whatever new habit that you want to install, that initiate the behavior. So you require the triggers, right? Okay, so the second one is planning. Without planning, you are just, if you think just you have the right intention to build new habit, but you don't have a plan, anything, that how you are going to take action. Suppose that you have intention to do exercise, but you don't have any plan to do it. Then you wake up early in the morning, and then after you're ready for doing exercise, but what you are going to do when you are doing exercise? You don't have any plan. Then you are going to not repeat that behavior again. Simple. So the third one is take tiny steps. For example, if once you have planned to do exercise and you are going to do the squat, so let's say do just 5 squat, and then after next day 10. So this is how you will have to take a tiny steps. Don't jump higher, right? Make it easy for yourself to do it again, right? The fourth one is set minimum set points. If you're doing exercise and maybe you will have some important tasks to do, and you don't have a time to do exercise, then just walk for 5 to 10 minutes. That's enough. It means that you are continuing that behavior. You are integrating that behavior into you. So this is really important to set minimum set point. So the fifth one is appreciate yourself for achieving the tiny steps, and it really allows you to continue that new behavior in the long run. So appreciate more. And the sixth one is what kind of person do you want to become throughout your journey. This is really amazing, that you always keep this thing in mind, that what kind of person do you want to become throughout your journey, right? So these are the support system you require for creating the new habits. I hope this video will help you to create a new habit. There are a lot of companies who are adopting this habit concept, and there are a lot of products that you're using in your day-to-day life, and you're just habitual with that product, and that's the power of habit. And thank you guys for watching my video. I have covered everything in this video, and this is my experience of the habit that I have implemented in my life. So I want to tell this thing that try it by yourself. What about you? What about your experience? And you don't learn the things by the learning. You learn the things by repetition. You learn the things by trial and error, and you learn the things by making mistakes. So do it by yourself and just see what works for you and what's not works for you, and make experience for yourself.